It's Ronnie, and welcome to the Paper Crafting YouTubers Hot for March, and the theme is Memorydex. I'm going to scrap that photo there and use some of those dies. I have October Afternoon and Studio Calico for my title. I also have some cardstock stickers and chipboard stickers in here, plus ephemera, I believe, and stuff I cut apart in that one baggie there. Then I also have papery. I looked that up on YouTube on how to pronounce it. There were several ways, but it said the American one was that way, and it was the easiest. I think the title isn't coming from Print Shop where everything else is. I think it was left over on one of the other sticker sheets. And I have lots of scraps to use too. I'm using this die. It's not a die, it is a punch that I got from Hobby Lobby several years ago. And it makes three different sizes. And if you look close enough at the peach colored one, I didn't line it up right. I won't notice it for a little while though, but I will fix it. I am using my We Are Memory Keepers hole reinforcer, and I'm going to use all of them is going to be the same color. It is kind of hard to line up and know where you're at with that little circle punch, and I always feel like I'm wasting paper. But the one there, that one there, it's going to get the same piece of paper on it, so it'll be tone on tone, but you still can see it in the layout. I made it into a tag, and I have that We Are Memory Keepers punch to do that so they match. However, I never hardly ever think of it until I'm doing the second side and already cut with my scissors in this case. I wanted my uh, tags, those long skinny ones, I wanted them to be long and skinny on the left hand side. And right here where I started to put adhesive on the back, I noticed that it was cut wrong. Yeah, I lined it up wrong, didn't pay attention. Too big a hurry, I guess. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with it? I finally decided to cut the top off and repunch it and move my whole reinforcer over and cut a chunk out of it because I still wanted it to be a little longer than the striped one. And yeah, just kind of make it work. But since I have such a big tag photo mat thingy, it's going to work out all right. You're still going to see some. See how it's that? You're still going to see some. But I'm going to cover up that gap. I think it's with flowers. Let me get my layout and look. Yeah, a flower and a leaf. And I showed that Memorydex uh, piece of papery there, and I am going to use it on my layout, and I'm going to make sure the bottom part shows, both of the holes, so it can look like a Memorydex. And I do have that punch laying over there to the right. It's a mini Memorydex punch, and I'm going to use it too. My picture there is pretty old. It's my daughter when she was a teenager and had her braces on. And this is pretty much the best photo I have with her braces showing. So I wanted to use it. And, years ago I bought, I believe it was Jolie's braces stickers with toothpaste and stuff. I'm sure it's in a box in the closet. But I thought about getting it and then I changed my mind. I decided I'd just go without it and put the word braces on here for the memory. I cut that little piece off there. I didn't need it the way I was going to put this on here, but I thought I'd kind of put it over to the right hand side and make a smaller cluster over there. And I do notice that there is blue on blue, but there are two different colors of blue. The one under the photo looks more teal, like it's got a little bit of green in it, whereas the one on the right looks blue. I had a scrap film strip because I use scraps to cut out my dies. And sometimes, the scrap isn't quite big enough, but I think, okay, it'll work. And so I cut it out, and I do have a lot of them cut out ahead of time, like the one I'm cutting on right now. Yeah, it was in my, well, it's a thing for stamp pads. And I just turned it over the other way where it looks like it's got wooden pockets there. and I have die cuts already cut in there. And oh, it is so easy to get them out of there and add them to my layout. So my favorite ones are in there. I pulled this flower out because well, on that uh, tag with the stripes, there is this mustard yellow greenish stripe on there, so I wanted to make sure I repeated it on several places. If I'd made my tag smaller, could have probably cut that off. But I was trying to go for the size I was picturing in my head, so it was still. And uh, that flower seemed to work pretty good. I had it planned in my head, of course, but I didn't leave enough real estate over there to use it there. So it looks really good there, though, I think. So it's serendipitous that I couldn't put it over where I originally planned. I am backing this in black, and it is using the October Afternoon stickers, and it says braces on it. And I will have plot twist up there. She had a plan to not show her teeth when she got her photo taken. However, I guess whoever was the photographer was pretty good, so she did. So, yeah, plot twist and braces. And so they showed, which is good because, there was a lot of times she didn't smile for photos because she didn't want them to show. But she looks fine in them. I wanted to repeat the peach. It might be some of it's more peach and some of it's more of a smoothie color, as they would say sometimes. And that heart is both. So I wanted to repeat that down there at the bottom to add a little more of that color there since I have so much of it at the top. And I I have that paper clip thing up there at the top because it's just too cute not to use. And my title, in case I guess I was talking. But it says document things, and then with Studio Calico letters, which were super hard to get off of there, they were not cut apart very good. I had to use scissors. But it says document things, all the things. So, yeah, that's a thing that need to be documented, her braces. And she's very good at writing on the back of layouts that we put in her album on her memory. So the back probably get written by her. Now, besides the memory of her braces and her plan not to smile, I thought of how when she was a teenager, there were so many girls here all the time. My son had friends over. He's a teenager too, a year younger than her, but not as many as she did. And our hallway has a large bathroom with a large mirror, and they would be lined up there putting their makeup on, doing their hair. The boys could not get in there. They had to use the bathroom in my bedroom because the hall one was always full. And the giggles you would hear from in there. And of course, there was always, always, always country music going. We didn't have country music, my husband and I, as they were growing up. So she has a lot of fond memories of more rock music. But all the kids at school was into country and she got into it too. And oh my goodness, the singing. They would all be singing together along with the radio too. So yeah, lots of fun memories brought back from this photo right here. I am trying to decide what I want to use here and uh, pick out the stickers that I want to go with it. And this is where I end up. Well, I put little stickers over the holes. I didn't want to put any twine in my tags. So I am putting, stars and hearts is what I end up using. And then I will add just a little more black from one of the stickers too. Well, a couple of the stickers. And I just did this layout a day or two ago. So yeah, I gotta keep looking back at it. Um, Oh, here's where I make that little cluster on the right-hand side. I wanted something skinny, and I thought, well, cutting off a little bit of that notebook paper, paper pad paper is what it looks like, and putting it over to the right that it would work out just fine. And it's just about perfect for what I had in my head. I did a lot better on the right hand side picturing it in my head than I did on the left hand side. I am going to use part of that photo frame there, and I did use my punch and punch out the tiny Rolodex card. Well, Memorydex is what they use it for, to make the little memory albums, but yeah, instead of Rolodex, Memorydex. However, I think when that punch came out, it was actually called Rolodex Punch. I won it on YouTube many, many, many years ago, and it still works just fine. I When I cut out that flower, I tried to point out that I by setting the flower back in there, that I left quite a bit of blue. I wanted a smaller flower. I found myself wanting a smaller flower on all three of the flowers that I put on here. But yeah, I cut that one smaller. The others were they were ephemera, so they were already cut out. But while I'm putting the finishing touches on this layout, including that little heart up there, it was cut in half. I fussy cut it out of one of the sheets of paper. And I thought, well, I can just tuck that somewhere because, I don't want to have any wasted scraps. And so it fit really good up there at the top. But anyway, I was on my way to tell you and got sidetracked that down there below you'll find the links to everybody else that is able to do this hop this month. And yeah, inspiration down there, and the theme being Memorydex, and you can use it any way you want. It's a pretty lenient theme. So if any of you want to join in on a YouTube hop, the paper crafting YouTubers, this one's a great one to join in on because it has, they're pretty lenient with the themes. You don't have to stick to them quite as well. So me, I just used them on the layout. And I documented a very old memory. But yeah, there's my layout, and here's my little cluster on the left-hand side. I really wanted to use that chipboard sticker there, but it just didn't seem to work out. So I used the camera instead because I was wanting to use it even more. And there's my title document things, all the things. And that color went with the Studio Calico, went really good there. And there's the braces and my daughter, of course, and that little bird. I couldn't resist using it. And there's where it covered up the edge of that one long tag, and so you couldn't tell it until couldn't tell I goofed. And here's the tags that's all up there at the top, and where I filled in the little places that I could have used twine instead but didn't. And that note is from one of the dies in the die package that I was showing you. And the one on the right there, it is, I just Googled geometric shapes cutting dies and came up with that one and have loved it ever since. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. I hope you check out everybody down there below and see what they created. And have a happy scrappy week. Bye.